Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a tarot reading for Woojin, former member of Stray Kids. I don't know if he has already or he is in the working of releasing something new. I'm going to do this tarot reading to see the energies available for him for the next 3 to 6 months. We know that he had been involved in a very huge scandal that had affected him and his career, and also the fandom and a lot of people that were following his work and the group as well. So let's see, let's try to stay respectful. As always, we are going to, the way I'm going to do this is to see his energies and what's available for him. Because I know that a lot of people probably are curious about what's the current status of his relationship with the Stray Kid members, and probably you're curious and you want to know, and I think that it's not the right time to actually dig into that kind of connection. I think I'm more interested into reading for him individually, and whoever is interested and is a fan of him can enjoy this reading. And if you do not care for him, or if you're not comfortable with his attitude or his persona, just click away, just don't watch it. But I'm going to dedicate this reading for him. So let's start with the archetype. I was searching for his spirit chart, and I think I saw something that he's an Aries. He's a double Aries, actually. He's an Aries with a moon in Aries. So it would make a lot of sense actually for him to be a soloist, for him to be a solo artist, for him to be an entertainer on his own, especially because I have met a lot of people with double energy, double Aries, and they are leaders. They are uh, they are very adventurous. They do tend to stand out, and they have like a really strong presence. So even though they probably do not want to stand out or probably get much attention, they end up attracting attention, especially in the way they behave or probably the way they act or the way they move. They tend to be very assertive or very dominant or very energetic and very honest, and it's like they are like an open book. At the same time, they don't have like gray areas. They just like something or they do not like it. So I think that probably for him to be part of a group, probably if I was to actually read for him, I would advise him to go solo, because he does have probably more chances to make it, or to actually, because he would have make it in any group. It's just that he has a lot of energy, and being a double Aries, it means that your whole self, it's about you. It's about you connecting with your own essence and connecting with your own desires, and also doing and working for yourself, and also trying to make things happen or starting things that can be good possibilities for yourself. So probably if you are part of a group, or if you are part, for example, how always in the work environment you have this kind of people that they are so independent, and that they are so like self-sufficient, and they are so knowledgeable about everything, and they just like sometimes they look even more prepared or more trained than actually their own bosses, and I think that these people are born to be a leader, are pushed by life events to actually work by themselves or work for themselves, especially because they sometimes struggle with authority. So I don't know what was the reason why he left the group, why he left I'm sorry, JYP or the group. Um, but I think that it has to do with his identity and his inner desire, his desire to separate himself from others, but it's not because of the group, it's because of his own identity. When you are a double Aries, your whole purpose, it's about connecting with yourself and connecting with what you can do for yourself. And they tend to accomplish a lot of things. Because they are very passionate about making things, and they just sometimes when you are in a group, there are certain protocols, you have to wait, you have to get to a consensus with others, you have to wait for other people's permission, you have to wait for everyone to be in synchronization. So I think that sometimes Aries people are born to be leaders, and they are not the kind of group mentality. Sometimes they do struggle when they have to do work, especially if you're a double Aries. Sometimes they struggle with working as a team or teamwork, because actually they are the ones that come out with really good and really original ideas. So they do stand out from the rest that probably are just there for waiting for instructions. They are more about making the instructions, and making things happen instead of waiting for someone else's permission. I think that also Aries energy, it's an energy that actually they don't like to be told what to do. So probably if he had some disagreement with some authority or some higher ups or someone, he could potentially just, because I've seen it, that they just don't care, and they will resign or they will quit because they don't like, I don't know, the environment or whatever. So and it's not that they're selfish, it's just that they love themselves a lot, and they just want to be honest about what they want to achieve. And sometimes they can be a bit like intimidating in the way that they are so sure about what they want or about how they want to achieve things, that sometimes it doesn't it's not a great it's not a great sign for someone that actually is part of a group. I think that I've seen it. I've seen it also in someone that was a Scorpio with the moon in Aries, and an Aries rising, that she would always be like getting scolded because she didn't know how to work as in a group. She didn't know how to be flexible or collaborate. And she was the best. Actually, she was the best at everything. So I think that their only defect is that sometimes they do have very strong charisma, and sometimes they make a lot of things actually. And I think that probably if this scandal hasn't happened to him, he would have probably been really successful from the get-going. But this is why I think that sometimes because I have seen it that sometimes a double Aries, they are very, not a lot of people like double Aries because of how straightforward sometimes they are. So some people do not like their energy. They find them really like selfish, so obviously I understand that if uh, it's like probably now he is more aware and he's more humble about how to go after his goal, but probably there was a lot of resentment over him. So let's start with the archetypes that he got. He got the archetype of the vampire, the mother, and the chameleon. So definitely, if we start here with the vampire, I think that he has a very strong presence. There's something about him. I don't know if his rising is a Scorpio or if he has some strong placements in Scorpio, because there's something about him that he has a lot of magnetism. He has like very strong presence, but at the same time he just makes people feel uneasy. I don't know why. But sometimes it's like he comes through strong, and it's like some people do not like it. Especially, is he a foreigner? Was he raised somewhere else besides Korea? But besides him being Korean, because there's like it's like he's really dominant, and there's something about his aura that is really intense, especially when he's focused on something. He emanates this very strong vibe that it's a bit heavy for people to actually for people to actually to accept it. I don't know why, but because he's like someone that if he wants something, he will get it. So he will do what he has to do to get things. So probably this attitude is a bit misunderstood. Especially I have the feeling that this is something that has to do with manners and has to do with with the society he lives in. I think that I don't know why, but you know that there's this system where you have to be really respectful and you have to be really humble with people that are older than you. There are a lot of a lot of traditions. But I think that he, even though he can act and he can be respectful and sweet, there's something about him that he's very intense. So I think that this is what is misunderstood about his energy, that actually he's so driven, or he is so passionate about, and he's also very confident about his own value, that sometimes it rubs people the wrong way. It's like, but I think that it's because they never met someone like him. This is why I think that his attitude is different. It's like, because they are like, oh, you're supposed to be more humble, or you're supposed to bow more often, and you're supposed to not look people straight in the eyes, or you don't have to do that kind of gesture with your face. Don't stare at people like that. Something like that. There's something about the way his body language that it's actually a bit like it leads to misinterpretations, and also because he has this vibe of being really like assertive, and at the same time he's like a hunter, in the sense that what he wants he gets. So I think that people are afraid of him somehow, or are intimidated by him, because I have the feeling that if I have to compare him to the rest of the members that are part of Stray Kids still, I think they all have this kind of, they all vibe the same, in the same way that they, of course, they are all different, but they have like this very they just consider each other, and I feel like he just was doing his job, but he had bigger goals, he had other ambitions. And I think that this is talking about ambition also. He's very ambitious. And he doesn't hide it, that he is ambitious. But this is not a bad archetype, actually. It's not a negative. It's just that he is like, he's too intense. So people can get a bit like, wow, like, what's going on with him, So, and then with the mother, I think that obviously with the archetype of the mother, I think that he must have, I don't know about him, but he must have had like a very dominating mother as well. Someone that actually raised him to be this way, to be this assertive, to try to be the best always. I know that this is every Asian mother, I believe, that has, well, every mother of any ethnicity has these kind of dreams and aspirations for their children. But I think that this attitude of him being really blunt about, yes, I'm going to get what I want. I think that it comes from he learned it from his mother. So he has a very complex relationship with his mother, because it's like a love-hate relationship, kind of. Because it's like she pushed him to the extremes, to like, oh, you should do better, you should do. So it was like she projected her own frustration or the things that she wasn't able to make for herself. She projected, or she put this weight of responsibility to make it happen in himself. So, and at the same time, I think that this is why he can be motherly, in the sense that he can be a mother figure to others, because somehow he wants to be for others the mother that he didn't have. So I think that it's really important for him to actually connect with this kind of need to, because he is still a child at heart. This is something that a lot of Aries people, despite of them being seen or being perceived as aggressive sometimes, because they do throw a lot of tantrums, and they are opinionated, and they have like this, they're always like, they are just they are special. So but behind all this fiery and this confrontative kind of energy, there's like an inner child that wants to be loved and accepted, and wants to be nurtured and cherished. So I think that for him it's very important to actually connect with this mother archetype, and him giving himself the love and the acceptance, and not expecting this to actually come from others. Just give it to himself, just nurture yourself and do things for yourself as if you were your own mother. So I think he definitely must feel a bit lonely, or like, this is why I think that he probably, if he's in a relationship, he tries to be like the mother of the relationship, or he tries to be like this motherly figure, even though he is a male, because he wants to take care of other people's needs, because this is what actually he's lacking in himself. He wants also to be taken care of, and he wants to be pampered as well, and he wants to be loved like a baby. And then we have the chameleon. So yes, he's definitely someone that he will be able to transform his situation, transform his own energies. I think he has a lot of possibilities. He has, and this is why I think that probably after what happened, or while this was happening, probably everyone expected him to behave a certain way, and actually he behaved totally different, because actually he's very unexpected. There's something about him that he doesn't play by the rules. He doesn't play by the rules. He just does what he feels is good for himself. He trusts very much his instinct. Sometimes he can be a bit impulsive. Of course, this is very Aries to be impulsive, but he doesn't regret anything. I think he accepts that life is about change and life is about adaptability. So I think that even though he must have feel insecure a lot of times, he's not going to show it. He's not going to show it. And it's not because he doesn't feel it. It's just because he doesn't want to feed people that actually want to see him that way. You have to see that Aries energy is the energy of the warrior. Is the energy, they are very leader-like. So they know that people are watching them all the time. Not because he's an idol only, but also because it's like everyone is looking at him. So probably in his life, he had experienced these kinds of moments where he had to prove himself, or he had to correct some misunderstandings, or he had been judged. I think that this scenario is very familiar to him, and he never backed down. Actually, he never backed down. I think that I wouldn't say he's used to, but I think that he's very aware that he's intimidating to others. So sometimes he just feels really angry at himself, but then he realizes that it's everyone else's problem, how they view him, and not because it's like he knows who he is and he's not going to change. In a sense that he's not going to apologize for who he is. But yes, he had been heartbroken. Yes, he had been disappointed. Yes, he had been. He had felt really bad. But he's not going to show that publicly, in a public way, because this is not who he is. This is not. It's like he can feel bad, he can feel down, he can feel defeated sometimes, but he knows that it's a matter of time before he can rise up again. So let's go with the tarot cards that came out for him. He got the 10 of Cups, the Hierophant, Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, 7 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords, the Hangman, and the 2 of Swords. So he's at this stage where I see all these cups, and actually I can see all the love and the support of the people that now are seeing his side of things, or his version, or the reality of what happened. I see him like, because these are very emotional cards, guys. I don't know how to put it into words, because I feel so heavy inside my heart. I can feel it like if I want to cry almost, because it's a process that actually he had been waiting for a long time to celebrate with people that believed in him always. I think he feels loved. He feels accepted. He feels like the true love is here with him now. And I think he never doubted that he was loved. actually, but he just wanted to, he wanted this moment to happen. Actually, he wanted this moment to come, because it's not actually about fame. It's about, he doesn't want to disappoint people that trust him at first. He knows that it's not so many people that actually truly appreciate him, but at the same time, he feels really loved, and he is celebrating with the people that had always been there from day one. And he had received so many messages of love, and kind words, and words of consideration, and very good energy. So he definitely feels, he feels so full. Like if you see the Ace of Cups, it's like this cup that it's the water is floating out. It's pouring because it's full, and it's pouring like a never ending, like kind of pouring of water that it's feelings. So I think that what he wanted to gain out of all this situation is to be in this state that he is right now, to be able to receive love, because and to be able to also say, yes, look, I'm loved, I'm accepted, there are people that actually love me. So, and then here with the seven of wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. Definitely, I'm not going to lie. It's going to, when it comes to work and releasing his projects, it's going to be really hard actually for him to make it. And actually, I'm not saying that what he releases it's not a hit. It's just that he will still be on the defensive. He will still have to fight to get his projects or his music promoted correctly, and he will have to put an extra effort, and he will probably try to work with others, or probably like he will have to work extra hard in the details with the help of others. By himself, he's not going to be able to do it. He will have to have like this very trusting teamwork, like this team behind him that can actually help him to release things. I think that he will have to work hard. I'm not going to lie here. I see that even though he's loved, there's something about his promotions and stuff, and the details, and that it's going to take a lot of effort, and there are moments where he will feel a bit tired, a bit exhausted, and also a bit angry, because it's like probably things are not going to come out the way he wants to. But he will just have to remain patient, because here with the Nine of Swords and the Hangman, it talks about him actually being patient with himself and not blaming himself or what happened, because I think that this is not only about him not being part of Stray Kids. I think that there's like this stain, like this. It's like there are people that don't believe it or don't believe in him. It's like his reputation has been damaged already. So it doesn't matter if he makes good music or not. People are going to judge him, and I know it's unfair, and this is why I think that he will deal with a lot of anxiety. Also, I think I know that probably he had a lot of time to be on his own, or to being forced to actually being away or not showing himself on. I think this man definitely needs to let time passes a bit. He needs to go away from the industry for a while. I think he needs that, but it's not because of it's not because of what happened. I mean, it's not because he's guilty of something. It's just that I think that he will start slowly to see the symptoms, or the sequels, or the the symptoms of all the stress and all the how bad it was for him mentally to go through everything that he had gone through. Because I think that he is a bit traumatized by this, and I think that if you add the pressure of actually trying to work on his music and trying to promote his music and trying to make good content and being busy and being motivated and wanting to do a lot of things, I think that the stress is going to be a trigger of a lot of things that he hasn't been dealing with in a mental level, that he hasn't been dealing with professionally, in the sense that probably, I don't know if he had a therapist or if he went to a counselor, but I think that he tried to manage his anxiety, or probably if he had night terrors, or if he had trouble sleeping or something like that. I think he tried to fix it on his own, or probably just deny it. But I think that now can be that with all the stress, and also with the fact that he will be a bit more relaxed, because I think that he's traumatized by this. There's a trauma here. And I think that because everyone thinks that you will show you will show the symptoms of being traumatized while the negative events are happening. And actually sometimes the symptoms are triggered or it gets worse when you are happy, or when you are relaxed, or when finally things start to work for you, and when suddenly everything goes back to normal and you feel released, and relief, and the tension is gone. I think that the fact that this subject it's over is going to also make more obvious that there's a lot of side effects, a lot of that this affected him, actually, mentally, emotionally. And he has to make a decision. Decision. He chooses his music or his career, or he chooses his sanity. Because I think that I'm sure he loves what he does, and I'm sure he loves his profession, and he loves his fans. But there's something about this industry in particular, and people in it, that are not going to give him the healing that he needs. That they are, I don't know why I have this feeling that there's always going to be someone that is going to oppose to him, or that they are not going to be 100% on his side, or that they are not going to be authentic with him, you know, like being like, oh yes, we are here for you, yes, we cannot wait to hear your new music. But there's like a prejudice, there's like a very strong, I wouldn't say discrimination, but it's like, oh yeah, you're that guy, like. And I think that he needs to do some therapeutic process, and he needs to try to find his balance again, his emotional balance, by staying away from the industry for a while. Because I have the feeling that there are a lot of people that don't like him, that just don't like him. And it's like they smile at him or they promise him a lot of things, but then I think the only people that actually love him and just accept him for his is his fans. Is his fans. I can see it. I can see it. And the company that he's in also, because here with the Hierophant I was looking at, they are like a family for him. They believed him from day one. It's just that, well, they needed to get all this evidence and stuff. But he definitely is a part of a family when he comes to where he works. But I think that it has to do with the audience or with the public perception of him. So I think he needs to make a decision, because I think that he had been traumatized. This guy really suffered. And I know he's trying to be strong, and he's trying to, you know, like I was saying in a few moments ago, I was talking about how he will just endure it. He will just, it's not that he's hiding it, it's just that he's trying to gain strength, you know, in standing out and standing up and just standing still, standing proud, standing with your head high, you know. He doesn't want to back down. He doesn't want to seem weak or defeated. He wants to fight adversities. But at the same time, it had affected him, so he needs to take care of that. He needs to put his mental health in first place. So this is all I have for Woojin, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like, and don't forget to comment what you think about him, about his situation, and please be respectful, because we are not here to judge or not being on anyone's side. This is just a reading. Like I said, this is a reading for him. So if you are a fan of him, please feel free to share it with someone that probably is interested, and give me your feedback if you are a fan of him, because I do not know much about him. So if you would like to give me some feedback, I would appreciate it very much. So guys, I will see you in the next video.